The aspiration for me, the vision, is to try and help alleviate the meaning crisis, which I think is extremely destructive of people's lives, up to and including their physical life, suicide.
We're organizing the Second Renaissance Conference online. It's a follow-up to one we organized in Harvard. John, you're going to be joining us. Tell me a little bit about what you're going to talk about.
So it's called Pilgrimage and the Renewal of the Senses. I mean, I've done a lot of work on the philosophy and psychology of pilgrimage because I've actually been undertaking a pilgrimage. And so, to put it short, it had a huge impact on me. And I'm trying to figure out how to share this and make it available to other people.
Pilgrimages have been in almost every major tradition.
Yes, they always are. You know, people go out into they go out into nature and they're trying to do something like a pilgrimage. The problem is, like, we have lost that tradition. We have lost role models. And all we are given is tourism. And tourism is exactly the opposite of pilgrimage. Tourism, you go to a place to consume it out of curiosity. Pilgrimage, you go in wonder to make yourself vulnerable to how that place is going to change you beyond your comfort zone. It's the exact opposite of tourism.
Wow, exactly. You said it really touched you. Can you say, so first of all, what was this pilgrimage you went on?
This one was basically through the Mediterranean, well, sort of the Mediterranean European world. And what I was doing is I was going to various locations. There was a chosen sage for each location. And then there was a living person that I have a relationship with that was in the lineage of that sage, and I would interact with them and with the place to try and pick up the perspective of the sage, sensed presence of the sage, sensed presence of the place in a way that would transform me and challenge me, to put me on that passage where I could start to look back and see where I've come from and see it differently than when I was in the midst of it.
What touched you about this pilgrimage? You said it really profoundly.
Well, I mean, first of all, each place was different, and each place made me get a different sense of the sacred taking place. And I'm using that phrase very deliberately because of the combination of the city, the person, and the sage. And they were like, they resonated with me and called me beyond it. So I'm in, I'm in the Hagia Sophia or the Cora Church with Jonathan, and he's unfolding all the iconography to me. And I'm feeling what that is like. Or I'm in Rome with Bishop Maximus, and we're talking about Clement, and we're talking about faith. Or I go to Amsterdam, and the sage there is Spinoza, and I'm talking to my son, Jason, and it's and I can see him opening up, and there's a spiritual awakening happening in him because of his deep devotion to Spinoza and being here. And I get to sense that in him, and that challenges me. Like, this is the kind of thing that happens.
Wow. And so what in this talk, which I mean, you're giving a sense of it just there and how you've been touched. What is it you're trying to point to and share in this talk about pilgrimage?
I'm trying to point out to people that this is a practice. It's a meta practice. If you have an ecology of practices and you want to see how you might still be within your own ecology in a way in which you are biased or trapped in a kind of unrecognized egocentrism, that you're still in some important ways deaf to or out of touch or blinded to the sacred, you can do a pilgrimage that will open you up. It will renew your senses. It will give you a way of understanding how religious pluralism doesn't have to be a problem. It can be a promise that you can partake in, about how the sacred could be renewed for us. This is your second renaissance.